just 1 second ago, sir.
Okay, okay. That's very nice. So who's controlling the Zoom so that the people who are speaking come onto the big screen or they are highlighted?
So I'll be doing that, sir.
Okay, very nice. I can see some very good friends of mine. Aman Roshan is there, Dhurva is there, Jasroop, eh? Jagrat, Neha,
Jane, sir.
Shally. Hello, very good. Young Muskan, Sandeep Kaur, of course, our champion. Vivek Dangar, again, another champion. Aryan, one of the twins. Kunal, very nice. Very good to see you all. What a pleasure to another edition of live debate. Live debate. Very nice. Chalo, Mukesh, we can
Yeah, sir. With your permission, I would like to start, sir.
please start.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, with deep pride and a strong sense of patriotism, I extend a warm and gracious good afternoon to everyone present here today. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's debate competition, as debate is not merely about expressing opinions, but about uh, presenting ideas with clarity, with confidence and logical reasoning. It
Mukesh,
provides a
we can't
platform
see
to.
your Mukesh, your camera. Now we can see. We are.
Now, sir,
हाँ
just wait, sir.
बीच में जा रहा है आपका. हाँ
1 मिनट सर, मैं कैमरा इसका ऑन कर लेता हूँ.
हाँ हाँ. So some issue with your camera. अभी ठीक है.
Just wait, sir.
हाँ. Good to see Abhinav also. Good to see Abhinav. I've just seen. And our क्या है
Hello, sir.
most experienced of debaters, Raghav is there. Huh? Good to
Yes,
see
sir.
you, Raghav.
And Jain sir, thank you.
Jain, very nice. Very nice. Sandeep, or how are you?
Am I visible, sir?
Jain
Please,
sir, I'm good sir.
No, you're not visible, Mukesh.
sir, please check now, sir. I
Now,
have from the another ID. Please check
no.
it.
Sir, he is visible, I think. Mukesh sir,
Yes.
please make me host. I'll handle that.
Okay, okay, just wait.
Yeah, now you're visible. On YouTube, you're visible. You're not visible here.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. From this ID, so you can switch off the other ID.
Yes,
And
sir.
I
Just
think
wait, sir.
Priya is handling this, so she can, ठीक है, she can highlight you. ठीक है.
Just wait, sir. Let me make her host. कहाँ पे है? Yes. Yeah, Priya, now your host.
Okay sir, I'll handle.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with deep pride and a strong sense of patriotism, I extend a warm and gracious good afternoon to everyone present here today. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in today's debate competition. As debate is not merely about expressing opinions, but about presenting ideas with clarity, with confidence, and logical reasoning. It provides a platform to exchange thoughts, to understand different perspectives, and enhance our knowledge on important issues. As today's topic is highly relevant and thought-provoking, affecting all of us in a way or another. Through this debate, we aim to explore diverse viewpoints and gain a deeper understanding to this subject. It is now my proud privilege to warmly welcome our esteemed chief guest, Major General Dr. Yashmore Sena Medal. Sir, your vision, your dedication, and inspiring leadership have been guiding force behind its competition. We are truly honored by your gracious presence today and sincerely grateful to you for taking out your valuable time to grace this occasion. Now, I would like to invite Major Dr. Yashmore to address us on this occasion. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you very much. I have, I've always really have no words to appreciate the kind of passion and enthusiasm that you personally bring to Team YMA. Today morning, we released our edition of Genmore magazine today morning, and afternoon we have debate competition. At 10 o'clock, we had the DNA. In the evening, we have the AMA. So we actually make Sunday the longest day. You can just see the team routine. If we are doing this much, I can understand others in the team, Priya and others, how much of work they would be doing. So what we have been able to do on an online platform is to get people across India together in small teams, small little teams in debating, in fitness club, in the Gen More magazine, and we are expanding now our footprint across, getting more and more people to join us with the same passion and energy. See, debating is, a wonderful way to express your thoughts. As much as you speak, you also listen. The best part of debating is you hear the other's view, and in the end you come out wiser out of it. So I don't know how many online debates we have done. I'm grateful to each one of you, our young little champions who've been associated with this club, Vision and Voice Club. It is their initiative of so we want to, I don't know if we can make it really regular every Sunday 2 o'clock people should wait if we are going to have a debate competition. So anyway, that's how we are going to go. But thank you very much, Mukesh, for organizing this, and all the other participants who are here. बहुत मजा आएगा और टॉपिक बहुत रेलिवेंट है. डिबेट हो रही है देश के अंदर कार निकोबार प्रोजेक्ट को लेके. Otherwise, also in our country, there is a huge debate that is going on between development and ecology, development and environment. We have seen what has happened to Uttarakhand, to Himachal, to Ladakh, to Northeast. Also, what is happening to Aravallis. Also, what is happening to our Western Ghats. We are also aware what is happening to our water bodies. So India, with a nation which has a bulk of humanity staying here, is on the crossroads of environment. So glaciers are melting, tree cover is going, our mountains are young and they are crying for attention. And now our island territories. These are very, very strategic outposts of India, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. While the project appears to be an amazing, strategically important project for rising India in near future, but we have to keep in mind the ecological balance of that area. The inhabitants are tribals who are very much citizens of India, as you and me are. And finally, the kind of investment for a nation like India, is it really worth it doing it in a far-flung territory, or we should be doing on any of our other deep sea ports or developer ports? So these are the juries out, and let's have debate, discussion, and then come to a conclusion as to what is the best form. So thank you very much for joining this debate. The people behind the scene who are, you know, vetting out the participants, then finally making teams, and that is the real hard work. It is easy for somebody like me to come and give a intro, but the real hard work is behind the scenes. So I really appreciate all those who are behind this. So let's begin the debate. So thank you, Mukesh. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to a very, very interesting discussion on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, and pleasure is always be mine. A strong organization grows through dedicated individuals who work quietly behind the scenes with passion, with commitment. And today we take a moment to honor the team that gives YMA Voice and Vision Club its true strength and purpose. Where is Priya Dhaka, Abhishek, Dev, Pranshu? And the team behind this debate is Sandeep Kaur, Aman Roshan, Dev Sharma, Abhinav Thaplia, Durva Sharma, and of course IUC. To carry this program forward with grace and enthusiasm, please join me in warmly welcome our hosts who will be the rhythm and voice of today's event. Our hosts for today's are Sandeep Kaur and Durva Sharma. Without further delay, I now invite Sandeep to take over and continue the program. Over to you, Sandeep.
Jai Hind, everyone. A very warm good afternoon to our esteemed guests, respected organizers, and fellow participants. The vibrant energy we share across our screen is truly inspiring and uplifting. We now move forward to much awaited debate, an event that promises to engage your mind with reason, ignite thoughtful perspective, and stir a spectrum of emotion. I am Sandeep Kaur, and as always, I am delighted to be joined by my wonderful co host, Durva Sharma. Together, we now turn our focus to the highlight of this afternoon, the highly anticipated debate. But before we proceed, let us hear a few words from my co host.
Thank you, Sandeep. Before this exciting debate begins, let us remind ourselves that imagination traces the blueprint within the mind's depth, while expression is the spark that breathes momentum into stillness. One shapes the path in silence, the other fuels it with fire. But when clarity of thought meets with the power of voice, they do more than guide, they become the force that drives true transformation. Today's gathering is more than just a debate, it is a celebration of brave minds willing to question the usual, a call to listen carefully, and a space where words are used with clear purpose. It honors the constant search for understanding, the courage to challenge accepted ideas, and powerful energy that arises when different viewpoints come together. Before we embark on this journey of ideas, let's take a moment to honor the architects who fashioned this fertile ground for intellect to blossom, alongside our committed organizers and all those whose unwavering dedication has made this gathering possible.
I would like to express my deepest and sincere gratitude to Major General Yashmore sir and the entire team at Yashmore Academy for the exceptional guidance, steadfast support, and invaluable mentorship, which have been instrumental in shaping and enriching this journey. The verdict of this intellectual contest lies in the capable hand of our esteemed panel of judges. So we extend our sincere gratitude to them for their valuable time and thoughtful evaluation.
It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the exceptional debaters who will be guiding us through this crucial discussion. On my screen, we have the esteemed team, that is Team A. Participants of Team A are Sumit, Jagrat, Chaudhary, Harsimran, Neha, Aryan Yadav, Raghav. Facing them, the equally formidable team, that is Team B, whose members are Shaili Chanda, Vivek Dangar, Kunal Yadav, Jasroop Singh, Mrinal Pandey, Muskan Shukla.
Let me now introduce to the captain of both the teams. Captain of Team A is Raghav Sharma and captain of Team B is Muskan Shukla. Team A will speak for the motion and Team B will speak against the motion. Now, some basic rules are first, like each participant will get 3 minutes to speak and not more than that in first round. And after completing first round, we will have a rebuttal phase wherein each team will get 10 minutes. Remember, during rebuttal phase, one question should be answered with a straight answer.
Now, before we unveil today's topic, let us remember that the environment is not an inheritance from our ancestors, but a responsibility we hold for our future generations. Every forest preserved, every coastline protected, and every ecosystem respected is a step towards a more sustainable and harmonious future. True progress is achieved not when humanity conquers nature, but when it learns to grow alongside it with wisdom and responsibility. With this, the topic of today's debate is: should large infrastructure projects be allowed in ecologically sensitive areas like Great Nicobar Island? Without further ado, let the debate begin and may the best arguments prevail. With this, now we start our debate, and our first participant is Sumit
So,
from Team A.
n- Namaskar, sir. Infrastructure is not merely about concrete and steel, but it's about connecting the people to the opportunity. This is Sumit Khanna. I'm gonna present my favor in the today's topic. So we are going under this project. We are gonna develop medical facilities, ports, si- ports, education facilities, improving the connectivity in Andaman Nicobar. As Niti Aayog has also proposed that with the sustainable development, we will be carrying out this project in three different phases. Phase 1 from 2025 to 2035, phase 2 from 2035 to 2041, and phase 3 from 2041 to 2047. And it will be carried out in three different zones: Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. In Zone 1, we will be carrying out Aerocity, we will be making some airports, we will be making some financial districts, we will be making some hotels, restaurants. In Zone 2, we will be making some adventurous, we will be making it as a tourist hub, like some adventurous activities, so that we can attract the tourists from different countries. As we have also seen that the Maldives, who is GDP is totally dependent on the tourism. So why don't we make Andaman Nicobar as Hong Kong of India? Why don't we develop our Andaman Nicobar to attract the tourism? In Zone 3, we will be keeping our Andaman Nicobar near to nature. We will be preserving nature more in Zone 3. Apart from this, uh, we will be carrying out we will be making international container tranship terminal, which will be helping us to make a 20-meter deeper site of port, where a ship from different countries can come and stop. It will be helping India to earn millions of dollars. We might have seen that 80% oil of China trade goes from here. Around 20 to 30% of world trade goes from here. So why don't we develop this? Apart from this, we can see that we say we are the guardian of the Indian Ocean. So why don't we strengthen our presence in the Indian Ocean by keeping more developed activities in such ecological sensitive area? Apart apart from this, uh, as it is in proximity as it is in proximity to Strait of Malacca, so it will be an ace for India actually. Like evidently we have seen in Iran war, Strait of Hormuz is helping. So in future, in emergency, we can choked off if required. So overall, conclusion to the topic, we should develop the projects in Andaman Nicobar. We must develop India completely, not only in mainland but in our sensitive ecological zone also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sumit. That was a powerful presentation. You spoke with great confidence and conviction. Well done.
Now we have Shelly from Team B.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable judges, respected Major General Yashmo sir, and my fellow participants. I am Shaili Chanda from Mahu, Madhya Pradesh, and today I stand firmly against the motion against this topic. Today, this project is being presented in front of all of us as development, but destroying one of the world's most fragile ecosystems and calling it progress is not development to me. Then what it is? It is environmental damage wrapped in economical language. Yes, national security matters, but to protect India from China, we do not need to sacrifice Great Nicobar. We can still we can still strengthen our naval surveillance. We can invest in drones, satellites, and maritime protection. We can transform our already built ports. There is so much which can be done. There are many alternatives without destroying an irreplaceable ecosystem. And we cannot ignore the most important fact, which is this Great Nicobar lies in the seismic zone 5, which is the highest earthquake risk zone. The 2004 tsunami has already warned us. Building massive township, building airports and transshipment ports on a tectonically unstable island is not visionary planning. This is a gamble to the nature itself. And then they say there will be green field projects. There will be a sustainable city. But if a deep water transshipment port is being built, dredging will happen, seabed excavation will happen, sediments will spread, and coral reefs will be harmed. Coral reefs are not just decorations. They protect our coastline and they protect our ecosystem, marine ecosystem. And then comes tourism and township expansion. But have we successfully mastered pollution control in our own mainland cities and tourism as well? And then we still struggle with pollution control in our urban cities, and we are claiming no ecological change in one of the most sensitive islands of this world. This is not confidence. This is our government's overconfidence. And now, the most weakest argument of all, compensatory afforestation. Are we seriously comparing planting trees with a 1,000-year-old ancient tropical ecosystem? Because scientifically, they are not equivalent. Great Nicobar has tropical rainforest ecosystem. Madhya Pradesh has deciduous forest tropical ecosystem, and Haryana is semi-arid. The climate is different. The biodiversity is different. There is no match. And nature is not a piece of Lego that you can just put it from here and shift it somewhere else. And finally, one of the world's most vulnerable tribal groups. We say with confidence, Vasudev Kutumbakam, that world is a family. That if we are destroying our own tribes, our own species, then who are we calling our family? Now, my final question to the opponents, to the people supporting this topic is, you are calculating the economical growth. You are calculating the economical profit. How are you going to calculate the extinct species, tribes, cultures, and everything which comes along with it, the distinctive ecosystem? Because to me, some losses can never reverse. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
It was fantastic, Shelly. Thank you.
Our next participant is from Team A, Jagrat.
Should large infrastructure projects be allowed in ecologically fragile region like India? I, Jagrat Kumar, good afternoon everyone, will speak in the favor of motion. And if I talk about this project, if I talk about the history has been the greatest court of anything, and the verdict of this court has always been in the favor of the one who is economically balanced, militarily upgraded, and as well as who is having the strategically leverage. And to develop this leverage, this Andaman and Nicobar Islands projects are very crucial. To counter Chinese influence in the region, who have encircled India through its BRI projects like Gwadar ports of Pakistan, Hambantota port of Sri Lanka, Zuboti port, Myanmar port, and have encircled us from all the regions. And at the same time, it is also nearer to the Malacca Strait, as my former speaker have also been highlighted, just 700 nautical miles away from it. And the strait, which controls 25% of world trade and 80% of the imports of oil and gas for China. And it is for the Indian Air Force after development will be just 15 minutes away. And hence to counter this strategically important location is very important. And if I talk about the blue economy, which is also very important for India's journey towards 2047. And this blue economy is important for smart fishing, development of green projects, and as well as India's seafood exports. If I talk about other infrastructure projects in the ecological region, Z-More Tunnel is providing all-weather connectivity to Ladakh from Kashmir. Similarly, our highest bridge, Chenab Bridge, that is our bridge, it is also providing a connectivity through trains and also provided a better tourism opportunities from all over the world to the region. And hence these type of activities with the sustainable development with technological advancement provide better opportunities for the people to upgrade themselves, enhance women labor workforce participation, which is very low in India. Also to upgrade the internet connectivity to the regions, those who have never seen any smartphones in their entire life. These type of projects will reach even to the marginalized communities, those who have always been away and always been isolated. And hence, if I talk about the environmental concerns, with the help, there have been so many ecological surveys surveys have been carried out in the region for so many decades. And under these surveys, it was like environmental impact has been counted out for upcoming this infrastructure projects, and there has been so many debates as well. And under that, the major documents for these debates were the Shopman tribal communities documents. Under these policies of 2015, was very well mentioned that these tribal communities have always been consideration and their welfare have always been counted during formulation of these communities. And we will be using just 2% of this Andaman and Nicobar projects. And hence, as India is moving towards 2047, what we need is the inclusive, prosperous, and manufacturing hub of our country. Because as an India, we are only sharing just 3% manufacturing capabilities in the whole world. And capabilities like data centers, like airports development, like jobs creations, and as well as upcoming nuclear small modular reactors. And for that, these infrastructure projects are very crucial to make it transshipment hub, to reduce India's dependency to other countries like Singapore, Colombo port of Sri Lanka, so that we will be able to export more and more and to reduce our trade deficit. And hence, we will have to count our economical benefit, as former speaker have highlighted, of Team B. And for this economical benefit, it is very important for us to grow up to 2047. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagrat. It was pleasure listening to you.
Now we have Vivek from Team B.
Jai Hind to respected judges, all the participants and organizers. Today we are debating more than just steel and concrete. Today we are debating on the permanent eradication of global heritage, which is irreplaceable. I strongly oppose the motion, gentlemen, because Great Nicobar Island is a pristine biodiversity reserve, which is home to endemic unique species, also to indigenous vulnerable tribes who have been living in the harmony with the nature for millennia. To clear the millions of trees and degrade the coral reefs for the commercial port is not the progress, it is the ecological bankruptcy. You cannot neither rebuild the extinct ecosystem, nor you can restore the displaced ancient tribes. There are several repercussions of this, such as lost irreversible biodiversity. Gentlemen, this is the island which is global biodiversity hotspot. If you put such a massive infrastructure in this island, it will certainly going to degrade and destroy the critical nesting grounds of leatherhawk sea turtles and the unique Nicobarian medapoc bird. Secondly, the threat to the life and survival. This island inhabits the tribes such as Nicobaris and Champion, which have been living for the millennia in this island. But if we put such interruption in this, this will lead to the cultural and physical extension of this species. And third one, as we know, these islands are seismic zones where earthquake and tsunami are any time possible. So if we cannot afford to put such a massive infrastructure in this project, place. Now, what again the Himalayan ecosite? In 2025, we saw nearly 331 days of near continuous climate impact, in which human cost was staggering. Over 4,000 deaths were attributed to the climate-induced disaster in 2025 alone, in which Himachal and Uttarakhand bearing the highest toll, because we have put infrastructure in such a fragile zones. Recently, Uttarakhand Forest Development has approved the filing of Devda trees and diverting 43 hectares of land for Chardham Road widening project. But let this sink in, gentlemen, that this project lies now to the main resource, which is classified as one of the critical zones where large infrastructure is strictly and exclusively proscribed. Gentlemen, felling of Devda trees, which are crucial ecological assets for the delicate Himalayan landscape, whose extensive root system stabilizes the slopes, prevents the landslides, and serve as a natural barrier against the avalanches. Gentlemen, I strongly oppose this motion by stating that we cannot afford such a massive infrastructure project in our fragile zones, because we cannot have short-term economic gains over long-term eco-biodiversity loss. So I strongly oppose this projects in such a fragile regions which can destroy our humanity and the tribal areas which are ancient and valuable, have valuable cultural insights. Thank you. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Thank you for your performance, Vivek.
Our next participant is Aryan Chaudhary.
the future does not belong to the nation that choose between the development and conservation, but to those who master both. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I am going to speak in the favor of the motion on the topic: should large infrastructure project be allowed in ecological sensitive area like Great Nicobar Island? Let's start. Many people used to think that the development and conservation cannot go together, but I strongly disagree, because the real challenge before us is not just about choosing one over other, but it's about the tackling and learning to achieve both. Great Nicobar Island is not just about ecological treasure, but it is a strategical land which connects with the Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest marine route and in the world. And China, which is our neighboring country, is used to import 80% of crude oil from this route only. So which means that this region is very important and very significant for our country. So my first point is national security. A strong nation requires strong infrastructure. And when we talk about strong infrastructure, when we things like airports, ports, high-tech facilities in that region, and if we are not providing it in that region, then it would be not better for us in future, and we may face some consequences of it. My second point is inclusive development. In inclusive development, remote regions should remain disconnected from modern facilities. No, people living there deserve more better resources, health system, transportation system, and different kind of disaster response system. And when we talk about sustainable development, then we are now living in a modern world, and where AI has changed everything. And when we merge AI with scientific knowledge, then we can easily focus on development as well as conservation. Opponents may argue that these kinds of projects may threaten biodiversity. Concerning about biodiversity is correct, but by completing destroying development is not the answer. The answer is strictly regulation with the scientific implementation. So at the end, I want to conclude that we should initiate these kinds of projects in these kinds of ecologically sensitive area to develop our nation very well. Thank you.
Thank you for your insights, Arjun.
Now invite Kunal Yadav from Team B.
So, the greatest threat to our planet is a belief that someone will save us. By these good words by Robert Swan, respected judges, and my teammates, I firmly believe that development is very much essential for a country's growth, in its trade as well as in its connectivity. Building airports, ports, ports, roads are very much important for overall country's growth. However, this development becomes more dangerous when it ignores the limits of human responsibility and also the ecological disbalance. Sustainable development comes into its way. Sustainable development means using the present resources willfully and also remembering about the future generation. However, this Great Nicobar project is a totally different one. This is a best example of reckless development, which is mainly used for rapid economic gains. Talking about this Great Nicobar project is a very fragile ecosystem where various tribes, various biodiversity, flora and fauna live there. So building a project over there will disrupt the whole system at that place. Now talking about different example such as the Uttarakhand, where reckless development don't played a key role, not a key role, but destroyed it completely. Such as aggressive construction over there lead to landslide, floods, and also lead to human loss. Secondly is the Himachal Pradesh, which was currently in news. Due to aggressive road construction, the hydropower project, it completely changed the geography of Himalayan region. And also this is not a case of India. Let me give you about Indonesia, whose capital was Jakarta. Due to poor urbanization and poor techniques, that is what we call as the scientific method, they were not able to even survive with their own capital, due to which they have to change it. So the question does not lie whether for trade or connectivity. It is meant, the question comes that the country's growth does not become a growth by destroying the already existing ecological system in the country. Thank you.
It was pleasure listening to you, Kunal.
Our next participant is Harsimran.
A very good afternoon, everyone. I am Harsimranjit Singh, and I will be firmly speaking for the motion. Initializing, I would like to say, as we all know about the Belt and Road Initiative of the China, and we all know about the great presence of China in the whole world. China have their ports in Sri Lanka. China have their ports in Myanmar, and China have a great presence in the whole African nation. And we all know about the presence of China in Pakistan. So China is putting India in a circle. And it's surveillancing our country and controlling our country. So what is our country doing? Firstly, the country was doing nothing. But now, if our government has took an initiative, then why are we guys opposing that? We all know about the presence of America in the whole world. America have their air bases in the remote to remote islands, but the Western media is only focusing on our great project because it will uplift our global position in the world. So as we all know about the current situation, currently the Strait of Malacca is from the Strait of Malacca, China is importing more than 80% of its oil and natural gas imports. That is a very great choke point. And by building this great Nicobar project, we can surveillance at the Nicobar project as well as at the China and at the Strait of Malacca. These, as we can see recently also, these types of choke points are deciding the future of the whole world. So concluding my speech, I would like to say that we should not oppose this great Nicobar project. We should encourage our government more and more so that we can also have a similar policy and so that we can become a South Asian country's leader. Thanks. And Jai Hind.
It was a wonderful performance, Harsimran.
Now we have Jasroop Singh from Team B.
Good afternoon and Jai Hind, everyone. Today, I, Jasroop Singh Chawla, am going to speak against the motion. I'm going to speak against the motion, but in favor of ecology, in favor of environment, in favor of the species that can't speak for themselves. When we say ecologically sensitive regions, we say the word sensitive because of a region. They are sensitive not because of the biodiversity they are rich in. They are sensitive because they are prone to natural disasters. If we talk about the Great Nicobar Island itself, the Great Nicobar Island lies in the seismic zones that is prone to tsunamis, earthquakes, and severe climate change. The Great Nicobar Island itself suffered a catastrophic tsunami and earthquake in 2004, and there was disaster, there was destruction all around. So if we want to build infrastructure that contains ports, airports, urban settlements, highways, we are not just disturbing or destroying nature or playing with nature, we are increasing the scale of future disasters. We as a country has faced many incidents of illogical development and consequences of it. Let us talk about the 2012 Uttarakhand disaster. Experts till date still say that the illogical and the unregulated development and deforestation led to amplified effects of the consequences. The clear lesson from the Uttarakhand disaster tells us when ecological limits gets crossed, then development leads to destruction, not progress. Let's come to the second phase, our dear government. We all know the ground reality of our government and its relation with accountability and implementation. When we build infrastructure projects in metro cities, we face many issues like poor environmental planning, poor implementation, and lack of accountability. All these issues leads to financial losses in the ordinary cities. But when we talk about ecologically sensitive areas, these leads to irreversible environmental and humanitarian losses. I'm going to say this very loud and clear that a damaged road can be rebuilt. A collapsed building can be reconstructed, but the loss of a life is permanent. No amount of money can compensate the loss of a loved one. So today we have a question to ourselves that are we making these big infra projects just in the name of strategic planning, or are we gambling our nature, and our local communities in the name of development. Thank you.
Thank you for your insight, Jasru.
Our next participant is Neha.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Neha Chaudhary, will be speaking in favor of the event. As per the topic, we are taking Great Nicobar project into consideration, which is the great economic infrastructure initiative aimed at transforming Great Nicobar Island into a strategic maritime and economic hub. But the critics have been arguing that this project would threaten the local aspect reserve, unique wildlife habitat, and ancestral heritage. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, but your voice is breaking. Yes, please. Till then, we have Mrinal Pandey from Team B.
So, hello everyone. Today, all of us are talking about the issue of Great Nicobar. But there are many such past incidences which clearly warn us not to do so and not to repeat the history again. Let me take you to such incidences. First one, and the foremost, Vadalpuram Transshipment Hub, which was a game changing first ever known transshipment hub built in Kerala in Kochi. It was built to reroute the Indian cargoes to the Indian port itself, which were earlier going to Colombo and Singapore. After a decade, what has happened? Only 6% of its total capacity has used. And yet till now, what has happened is that it has not been able to transform itself into a transshipment terminal. The airport transshipment terminals, the in Delhi are collapsing. The left bank canal of Sirai Salem in Telangana is breached. The highways of Jammu and Meghalaya are sinking. Monsoon is clearly showing the evidences and mirror to the governmental policies of infrastructural development that they are not able to implement them in the mainland itself, despite having all the resources. Want to know and have more evidences? Silk Yara Bend Bark Road Tunnel, which is situated in Uttarakhand. Cafeteria Mall Tunnel, which is situated in Jammu Srinagar Highway. Both are actually built on a seismically fragile region, but they are treated as a routine hill route. And the expansion is done like anything. Nobody is able to stop it. Coming on to some international examples as well. The Palm Island of Dubai. You know, the coral reef, only the offshore of the Dubai, is now completely devastated. The turtle nesting sites are damaged a lot. The nesting sites are damaged a lot. The water has now become brownish and black. The total 70% of the coral reefs have been damaged, have been wiped out. The natural ocean currents have been rerouted from them. And not only this, the ocean currents which are surrounding Palm Jumeirah, their temperature has rose well above 7.5%. One more example is left. China's military building base in Spratly Island. It has led to loss of 600 species of coral reefs, 6,000 species of fisheries, and yet 12% of the total fisheries which we see in South China Sea has been completely vanished. You can see that the list of these past incidences are never ending. But I think today these evidences are enough for me to put my point in front of you that whether you do this development in the name of defense, strategic location, trade, tourism in this ecologically sensitive zones, it is nothing just a destructive fantasy for which humanity is not ready to witness. Thank you.
It was fantastic, Mrinal.
Now our next participant is Neha from Team A.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Neha Chaudhary, will be speaking in the favor of the given topic. As per the topic, the Great Nicobar project is taken into consideration, which is a mega infrastructure initiative aimed at transforming Great Nicobar Island into a strategic and economic hub. But the critics have been arguing that this project will threaten the local biosphere reserves, unique wildlife habitats, and the ancestral territories of the Shompen and Nicobarese tribal communities. But I would like to let you know that this project has been approved by the National Green Tribunal, and this shows that this project's development will be carried out under environmental safeguards. This development uses a highly regulated, calibrated design that only impacts 1.82% of the island's forest cover. Further, over 50% of the diverted forest land, that is 65.99 square kilometer out of 130.75 square kilometer, is strictly reserved as a zero felling green area, and a compensatory afforestation will be carried out in Haryana with 97.30 square kilometer of land. Now, another concern which is being aroused is that this project may disrupt the Shompen and Nicobarese tribal communities. But the authorities have emphasized that no displacement of indigenous community will take place under this development. And we also know that 73.07 square kilometer of tribal reserve will be used for strategic infrastructure. But at the same time, 76.98 square kilometer of highly ecological land is being added back to the tribal reserve, which will result in the gain of tribal reserve area. And I would also like to mention that India has successfully built other strategic and economic hubs in fragile environments that rely on careful mitigation and regulatory oversight. Some of these are INS Bars and Campbell Bay upgrades in Great Nicobar itself. Secondly, International Container Transshipment Terminal in Kochi and Sardar Sarovar Dam and Green Zones in Gujarat. These are the projects that fulfill their strategic objectives along with minimal ecological disruption. I would like to conclude by saying that if there is a massive infrastructure development in an ecologically sensitive area, it should be accompanied with proper monitoring committees with independent experts to oversee the environmental concerns and mitigation efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha. With this, now we have our next participant from Team A, that is Aryan Yadav.
Honorable Chair, respected judges, and esteemed participants, I am Aryan Yadav and I rise today to speak for the motion and large infrastructure projects should be allowed in the ecological sensitive areas like Great Nicobar Island, provided they are developed responsibly, scientifically, and sustainably. India today is the world's fastest growing major economy, but growth requires infrastructure, ports, airports, roads, and power networks, and a connectivity are not luxuries. They are necessity for national development, security, and economic progress. The Great Nicobar project, estimated at around 72,000 crore, aims to develop an international transshipment port and airport and modern infrastructure. Why is this important? Because currently, nearly 75% of India's transshipment cargo is handled by foreign ports like Colombo and Singapore. This means India loses revenue, trade opportunities, and strategic influence. A world class port at Great Nicobar can change that and strengthen India's position in the Indian Ocean region. Secondly, this project is not only about economics, it is also about national security. Great Nicobar lies close to the state of Malacca, through which nearly 40% of the global trade passes. And today, the world is already witnessing what happens when strategic maritime checkpoints becomes unstable. During the 2026 Iran-Israel conflict, tensions around the Strait of Hormuz disrupted global shipping and oil supply routes since nearly 20% of the world's oil trade passes through Hormuz. Even the possibility of restrictions caused oil prices, shipping insurance costs, and global market uncertainty to rise sharply. This clearly shows that control over strategic sea routes is not just a military issue, it is an economic, geopolitical necessity. In such a world, India cannot afford to remain strategically passive in the Indo Pacific region. A strong presence in Great Nicobar will enhance India's maritime security, trade, trade resilience, and strategic preparedness. Human civilization has always progressed by balancing nature and necessity. If infrastructure projects are rejected everywhere in the name of environment sensitivity, then roads, railways, renewable energy projects, and even rural development will become impossible. Modern technology now allows environmentally responsible construction, compensatory afforestation, wildlife monitoring, and green building techniques, coastal regulation safeguards, and strict environment impact assessment, and can reduce ecological damage significantly. More development can improve local livelihoods, connectivity, healthcare, education, disaster management, and employment opportunities for remote island population. Isolation cannot be treated as conversation. Therefore, the debate should not be development versus environment. It should be how to achieve development with environmental responsibility. In conclusion, I would like to say a strong nation cannot survive on environmental idealism alone, nor on reckless industrialization. India needs balanced, strategic, and sustainable development, and projects like Great Nicobar, if probably regulated, can become an example of exactly that. Thank you.
Thank you, Aryan.
Now we have Muskan Shukla from Team B.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are.
Greetings to one and all present here, respected judges, my worthy opponents, and my team members. I, Muskan Shukla, speak before you all as the captain of Team B and the final member vehemently opposing the motion. The opposition's entire case rests solely on a dangerous illusion that we must destroy India in order to develop India. They have repeatedly used words like transshipment hub, strategic necessity, and economic growth to justify a 81,000 crore project on the Great Nicobar Island. They want us to believe that sacrificing 1 million trees, ancient rainforest, and a globally unique ecosystem with our tribal members of the Champion tribe to build a commercial port brings us national security. But today, I will dismantle this case by proving that true national security does not come at the cost of grave of cultural genocide and ecological disturbances. Firstly, the opposition defends the felling of nearly more than 1 million trees. They say that they'll replace a pristine, irreplaceable forest of the Bay of Bengal with planting monoculture saplings 200 miles away in the Aravalli Hills and claim ecological equivalence. But judges, this is not science. This is a purely accounting fraud. I again say that you cannot replace a wildlife that has existed for millions of centuries and place it somewhere else on earth, which is only unique to the Nicobar region. Secondly, the human cost and tactical cost. In the name of development, the Champion tribe, which has been a particularly vulnerable tribe of the Nicobar region, has to be displaced and brought to a demographic annihilation. This is also the cultural erasure of a particularly vulnerable tribe. Apart from that, a massive infrastructure is to be constructed on area which is the highest, which is highly volatile and comes under seismic zone 5. This is by creating this, we are not creating a asset, we are actually creating a multi-billion-dollar liability which are going to cost us in future. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I say that we are not against development. We are against the destruction disguised as development. Apart from that, if we pass this, we are passing message to the generations that anything, any ancient rainforest or any tribal can be commodified if the price tag is high enough. Even our ancient Atharveda, the very bedrock of our civilization, states that Mata Bhumi Putro Ham Prithviya, that is, Earth is my mother and I am her child. Therefore, true national security does not lie. Therefore, true national security does not lie in building ports and securing areas and degrading it ecologically. Rather, it lies in protecting our motherland, protecting our tribal culture, and protecting our ecology. Therefore, I strongly request you to discard this motion. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
It was a wonderful presentation, Muskan. Well done.
Now, our next participant is Raghav Sharma from Team A.
Then everyone, I'm Raghu Sharma and I'll be speaking for the motion. Where would India's next security challenge arise from? When someone asked this question to the military spokesperson of Pakistan, General Ahmad Sharif, he replied, from the east. Now, why do you think that such a powerless state like Pakistan feels so confident? Because it is backed by China. And China, under a strategic operation under the name of String of Pearls, or I would rather say String of Ports, controls the whole Indian Ocean. And the String of Pearls feed the Strait of Malacca, the same strait which is considered one of the most busiest strait in the world. The same strait that carries 40% of world's good, 60% of Chinese good, and 80%, yes, 80% of Chinese crude import. Therefore, Chinese President Hu Jintao clearly coined the term the Malaccan Dilemma in 2001, when for the first time a tri-services command was constructed in the Nicobar Islands by the Indian Armed Forces. So yes, after 25 years and Hormuz crisis, I believe that that particular command is in dire need of development. So I ask, why oppose this development? 75% of India's transshipment ports, transshipment containers are operated by ports present in Indonesia and Colombia, which results in an outflow of 4,500 crore rupees annually, which clearly means that every port in the Colombia, in Malaysia, and the Strait of Malacca charges Indian containers $200 extra per container, as against no duty on the Chinese and Taiwanese ports. Now, to tackle the situation, under this project, ICTP will be constructed in the Great Nicobar Island, which will be only 80 nautical miles away from the global sea route. Sardar Sarovar Dam, Delhi Metro of 2001, all accounted for afforestation of 25 lakh forests. All of them displaced 2 lakh families. But what are we getting now? We are getting water for irrigation. We are getting electricity, flood control, and integrated economic development for tens of millions of people of India, which clearly means that the developing countries like India, instead of refraining from taking difficult decisions, rather we must, as responsible citizens of India, ask the government to have a balance between development and ecological importance. Imperialist powers like China and US are asserting control over Indian Ocean and other parts of the country. And here we are as a developing nation debating whether India take control and develop a sovereign piece of its own land. Ladies and gentlemen, the Strait of Malacca will provide a huge opportunity for India to develop in the coming future. So in the end, this Nicobar Island project is geopolitically priceless, economically transformative, and strategically existential. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Raghav.
Thank you, teams, for your powerful and insightful opening statements. We now move into the crucial rebuttal phase, where our teams will have the opportunity to directly address and respond to the arguments presented by the opposition. Each team will get 10 minutes for the rebuttal. Team Hey, you have the floor for your rebuttal. Go for it.
So I would like to ask the opponent, should India remain underdeveloped in strategical important reason. Just because we can't balance development and environment.
I think strategic importance cannot justify environment blindness. Both must coexist and not compete. Our concern is not growth. Our concern is not where India should not grow. Our concern is whether it should not come by destroying an irreversible rainforest. That is the only thing. And an irreversible ecosystem. Ask yourself the same question and maybe you'll understand.
Also, if you're talking about the Strait of Malacca, that it will be a strategic asset for us, then it would be better to establish that some taking some assets near the Strait of Malacca rather than here, Nicobar, because we cannot make developments at the cost of ecological degradation. Secondly, I can also propose another alternative for this. Instead of developing this area, we already have military deployments in the Nicobar region, and instead of developing more here, we can just buy assets near Singapore or Malaysia, and already we have great types with Singapore. So it will even enhance the multilateral relations, and also result in strengthening of our bonds with it. And we can in that way we can also counter China, and no ecological degradation will take place.
Also, I would like to support this point because
Okay, the next question.
security should not come on the cost of. Okay, question.
I will ask. I
Okay,
I
sure.
would
Thank
like
you
to
so
ask
much.
the next question to the opposition. So, can you explain that how we will counter the global expansion of China? As I have already explained that China is circulating our country, and if you think that it is the strategic importance is not much of this location of the Great Nicobar project, then why in the at the time of 1947 both the nations India and Pakistan were in a hurry to capture these islands? Can you explain that?
So what I
I would
think,
like to.
speak.
I would like to say, when it comes to the strategic development, security should not come at the cost of self-destruction. A nation's strength is also measured by how it protects its natural heritage, how it protects its tribal areas, and how it protects its citizens. And when it comes to the strategically countering China's interest in this region, so gentlemen, I would like to tell you that we have IRNSS, Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, which can monitor all the activities in the region. Also, we have the NISA satellite, which is NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, which can also monitor in this region what are the activities China is going to play. And when it comes to the transshipment ports and harbor, so we have Coromandel coast and we have Malabar coast from this. From here, establishing a great ports from here, we can also counter the China's interest in this region. And also, with the help of our strategic neighbors, we can secure our strategic, economic, and political objectives from this region.
Also, if
So
we want
I,
to,
as every member of
tackle
the
China,
team,
we have to see how
One
China
other
gain it.
solution can be one another solution can be we can develop the Andaman and Nicobar Command of the Indian Armed Forces. That can be done too. There are many ways. There are alternatives. We can just focus on the alternatives as well.
Also, I would like
Okay,
to
so as
say
gentlemen, next
everyone
question
from
from
the
my
team
side is
we
that
mentioned
uh,
Uttarakhand and Himalayan region, everyone from the team we
So
mentioned
please let
that the
us ask
government
the
failed
next question.
precisely. Everyone from the team mentioned that the government failed precisely to develop and to maintain a balance in development and the degradation of the forest in the case of Uttarakhand and Himalaya region. So are we directly, as responsible citizens of India, accepting the failure of our government instead of asking them questions that what kind of money were you spending from our tax money, instead of telling them to learn from the world and how to sustain ecological balance and become a global power? Are we really accepting that government please do not take any other future steps?
So
I
what I
would like
See, you talk about tax here, but the topic is not taxation or anything related to tax. The topic is about strategic development or the urbanization. So that is why we all are talking about the topic. If the topic was higher taxation and taxes increasing every day, we would be talk about that. But if that is not the topic, why would we discuss about
I
something
only
like that?
mentioned the word tax in my whole question once, and
Okay, gentlemen, next question, if I
I
ask
think it's our
that we
turn,
have
team
failed
leads turn to ask the
most.
question.
Oh, gentlemen, 10 minutes is still not over, so please let us ask. And I want to ask a question that's we have always been failed to listen the grievances of the people. Lot of protests have been carried out. Yes, it is a part of the good governance, but our lack of good governance to sort out people grievances timely become a hurdle for these infrastructure projects, women empowerment, infrastructure development, and most importantly, the strategic security. So it's why this our lack of and why we let it to happen.
I would like to answer this question. The thing is that India is a democratic country, and that is the point where people protest, whether it is the illegal, whether it was the cutting of Aravali mountains, or now that we are debating for the safety of Greater Nicobar. The problem here is
people
that
also
the
please
problem
continue.
here, yes, the problem here is that even the scientific community have raised open questions that the Great Nicobar should not be exploited on just to have a infrastructural development on that particular place. Coming on to the strategic importance, which we people are continuously talking about, there are many Asian countries in South China Sea with which India can have really good relations, and where India can make its bases, its naval bases, so that it can have a very sharp eye on what China is doing. Also, we see that Champagne as a tribe has never been in contact to any of the outer world people, neither through internet, nor through satellites, nor through radio, internet, nothing. Don't you think that if all of a sudden infrastructural development happen, they as a whole population will be ready to accept that this is not the matter of one or two people, this is the matter of millions of those people who belong to that tribe. They're not educated, they only know that their identity is joined to what their tribe is, their identity is joined to their forest, to their particular region in which they are living. They will not be ready to accept it, and a mass level of opposition from their side might also happen.
A recent survey
It is
also
not a
shown that
all of a
when they
sudden
were
project.
being
It
asked,
is not
where
a
they
all
were
of a
being
sudden
asked
project.
that
The
there
government
should be a
has told that it will take 30 years to implement it. So it is not a all of a sudden project. Now coming on to the public protest that you mentioned, public also protested when Sardar Sarovar Dam was built. Scientific study also said that afforestation will lead to a huge devastating damage to the ecological sites. And but still, the dam was built, and we are still receiving clean drinking water. Farmers are receiving irrigation water for irrigation. The country has developed a lot after the implementation of the dam area. And you also mentioned about that the country that India must work on its relation and completely rely on countries like Singapore, Indonesia. So instead of saying that we must be self-reliant when it comes to controlling our own sea route, you are directly saying that we must remain reliant on countries that are not even 1/10 of our economy, rely on them and rely on the mercy of powers like US and China, which are no longer our friends. China was never our friend. We have no idea what will happen with the US and the relations in the coming future.
And
gentlemen.
Gentlemen,
also,
next
I
question
would
also
like
What
from
to,
my
about
side is
I would
that,
like to say that,
Yes,
I
so
would
I
like to
would
say
gentlemen,
like
that
to
may I
next
ask.
question I
first?
would like
Let us
to
answer
ask
one
that.
question. Let us answer one
Let us
question.
answer this question
Huh,
first.
huh. So I was telling that first of all,
Gentlemen,
you talked about
okay.
one thing, that is scientific studies. If you are comparing the scientific studies, there was one commission, that is EIA, Environment Impact Assessment was done, which actually takes years. That is comparing all the seasons and its impacts. But this was done within a week or just few weeks. So already the government is in a hustle and bustle to complete it, and just put it to a green signal instead of all the harms it is neglecting. So first of all, we do not believe in the scientific study. It is very prominent that the government is in
Okay.
a hurry, and it is trying to neglect all the harms which are being caused by this project.
Yeah, so I would like to ask one
Okay, friends,
question
the
to
next question
you
I would like
that
to ask is that those communities which are living
Time
with
over.
uneducated, okay.
Your time over. 10 minutes over.
Your time is over. Now it's turn for Team B to ask your questions to Team A.
I'll start by
My
asking the
first
first
question is
question.
for
Okay.
okay. Just
Please go
just
one
review
by
answers.
one.
My question to Team A is very simple. If your main justification for this project is defense and military importance, then why we need a large-scale commercial infrastructure in such an ecologically fragile region? India already have naval and air force presence there. We can strengthen it anytime. But are we truly prioritizing national security, or we are just using national security as a bait to, and we have eyes towards exploiting the beautiful Nicobar, just like we have seen in Uttarakhand, Himachal, and Aravalli?
As it was mentioned by Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, the Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, he supported the expansion of forward bases and logistical infrastructure. Now, why do we need a logistical infrastructure far away, 1,200 kilometers away from the region coast? Is because 40% of state global goods, as I mentioned before, passes through the Strait of Malacca, along with 80% of Chinese crude oil passes from the same region. That is the reason we need a strong hold in the Strait of Malacca, and as well as all the coastline of India. They do not have the required depth, ocean to surface depth that is required 20 meters at least to hold heavy bulk shipments. Whereas the area around the Andaman and Nicobar Island gives us that opportunity as well.
Okay, so you talked
Gentlemen,
about
I have
moment
a
we are
question.
able to see that a
Additionally, I
conflict
want
is
to ask.
going on.
I want
Okay,
to
so
say.
you no, you talked about the Chinese crude oil passing through the area. So suppose the project is developed, okay, in 30 years, that is 2056. The project is developed, but China develops good terms with Malaysia, okay, due to some depth traps or whatever it is, and it develops good terms with Malaysia, Singapore, etc. So it has a direct control over Malacca. Then what? What is this? We are facing the ecological degradation also, and then we are not at par with China also. We cannot counter China in that way also. So what is your
Okay.
take on
Why
that?
we are initiating this project now?
Okay, answering to you,
As we
answering
are
to
seeing
my
that many
friend
kinds
from
of
the team
conflicts
B, I
are
would like
going
to
on.
answer her that.
Like in Strait of Hormuz, we
Friends,
are
I would
able
like
to
to
see
answer
that.
that
So,
if
on the idea of like trade and connectivity,
we
the
talk about this.
Like we are able to see
main
that in
idea.
Strait of Hormuz, Iran has
Gentlemen,
easily
please
captured,
speak one
Iran
by
has
one.
easily stopped the passage of it. So in upcoming time, in Strait of Malacca can face this problem. So India will also need to ready with that thing. That's why they are initiating this this
Gentlemen,
project.
answering to the
But gentlemen, I have a question
team
for
B
you. This
questions, I would like
because
to
Great
answer that.
Nicobar
Gentlemen,
Island in
let us
2004.
answer the first question first, and answering the first question first, gentlemen. So answering that it is only about not the who is controlling the Strait of Malacca. As she said that China is already having the controlling of this Strait of Malacca, which is nowhere true. Second is that it is about strategic leverage. The country who is having the strategic leverage is always being listened at the global stage, whether it is the about of Strait of Hormuz, as my friend was recently talking about, and whether it is of any choke point. The trade is being weaponized these days, and to have the strategic leverage, it is very important for us to develop these type of ports so that we can control and influence.
So why not?
But
First of all,
gentlemen, I
gentlemen,
have a
I did
question
not
for
I,
you
say
I,
about
that.
I
this.
have one
Great
question.
I
Nicobar
did not
Island in
say that China has
2004
control
tsunami.
over state of
It
Malacca.
was
I
sunk
said
in 4 feet. Great Nicobar Island in 2004 tsunami and earthquake. It was sunk 4 feet, almost 15%. And how can you justify investing billions in public funds to build a massive project directly in an active seismic fault? And again, when the inevitable major earthquake takes place, then who will bear the catastrophic financial and human lost infrastructure?
And similarly, you are talking
Japan is
about
also a
Yes,
part
that's
connectivity
of
with
why
that
lack of development
Strait
can
of
bring
Malacca.
ecology and human
No, you
safety.
are
But when we
telling
talk
to
about
connect
that,
with the
the
Strait of
proper
Malacca.
development in the
So
strategic
Let Kunal
guidance,
also
then
Gentlemen,
speak.
it will be
let us
easily
let
doable.
us answer the
I am
questions. Let
answering.
us answer the questions first, then question the next question. Let us answer the previous questions.
So
So
for the
please answer.
previous one, I am saying that the Strait of Malacca, you are saying that we will be covering the idea of Strait of Malacca. So why not to like build up the existing ports like the West Bengal port? It does not have better facility for ports and imports. Like it is few kilometer away from the Great Nicobar. So a few kilometer distance might not affect a little much, but it will connect Nepal, Bhutan, the Southeast nation, which you are saying through the Strait of Malacca. So that's why
Okay,
the
friends, understood your question. Okay, understood your
Adding to the
question. And now
thought of
answering this question, if I talk about that, there is a very less depth in the other different ports. And also we are developing the West Bengal area to connect our northeast region as well through Kaladan multi-model project. this is being developed. But for transshipment, why this has been developed? Because they have very less depth, and it is impossible to make them transshipment because of the same region. In the same way, the alternate route of this Malacca Strait, which is through the Sunda Islands, that is also the same region because they have very less depth, and that is why they have not been developed as a transship.
And gentlemen, you did not answer my question. You just misinterpreted it. I did not say that China has control over Malacca. I said supposedly we developed the project by 2056 in 30 years. And China has good terms. China develops good terms with Malaysia, Singapore, and the countries near the state of Malacca. So China has direct access to it, whereas India, we would have already facing the ecological degradation, and also because China would have access to the strait of Malacca. So it would
But ma'am,
be of
why
no
are
use.
we
It would
having
be a
a
wasteland.
hypothetical situation? Will the government of India will be slept at up to the completion of the project if we will be active at your type of situation also? We can at least surveillance at the choke point. And you are saying that the government of India will be sleeping at the whole
I'm not
time.
telling that. I'm not
India
telling
will be
that. Okay, we are building the only point you are telling about strategic security is Strait of Malacca. So I'm telling that yes, okay, we build it. But what if China gets access to Malacca? So what is more near the Strait of Malacca? Is it Malaysia? Is it Singapore? Or is it Nicobar Islands?
Okay, so we should keep the
Okay,
according to keep the
No,
answering
surveillance
your
is
question.
okay. Strengthening defense is okay.
Okay, I
But what
have this
about the
one
other
question.
commercialization?
Why not move towards system-centric approach rather than platform-centric approach? What have we learned from the US-Iran war?
Just as Saudi Arabia,
From
Iraq,
massive
just as Saudi
infrastructure. I think I'm speaking. Please let me finish
Gentlemen,
my question. Then you can ask. Then you can answer. It would be very better. Okay. So the
Carry on.
question is, why not
please.
move towards system-centric approach rather than platform-centric approach? What have we learned from the US-Iran war? Because from massive infrastructure to drone and unmanned approach, please explain. Why are we
When
stuck on the same topic?
we have learned from the US-Iran war that the choke point can change the world order. And even if we are don't at that choke point, if we don't have that geographical privilege, then at least by building this project, we can do surveillance at the choke point, which is the Strait of Malacca. And we all know about China. China is not even our friend, and we can so that to counter that position of the China as a global leader, and to counter that thing, we can build this project. It will also help us economically, and it will also help to uplift our global image.
Gentlemen,
We
Team A
learned
as
from the
hasn't
war.
Most
answered
people are
one
talking
question.
learn
about
it
from
is
the war.
not a
economic growth.
geographical privilege.
Team A
I
hasn't answered.
Rather, it is a geographical
Team A hasn't answered because I did ask you the question if this project is of 92,000 crore and it is on the choke point of the two plates where the destruction can take any place. So if the destruction takes place of 92,000 crore, which is not personal, it is a public fund, it is from the public fund, then who will be responsible for the catastrophic financial and the human cost which will be lost in that particular situation? If
just
it is
like
there.
Japan is
Okay,
also
gentlemen,
facing
answering the questions. And
just
when we
firstly,
like
talk
Japan
about
is
checkpoints,
also
do not
facing.
forget we
gentlemen, I would
already
like to
have
say that
defense
please
commands in
let us
Andaman
answer.
and Nicobar.
any
Gentlemen,
country.
please let us answer first, then you ask the questions one by one. So let us answer the previous question. Other than you will question that you have not answered the previous question. So
Correctly.
let us answer it. And if I answer the previous
Yes,
question right now. So now coming to that he was talking about the catastrophic advantage loss that have been taken out, and he has given the example of 2004 tsunami. So there is a study has been carried out by the Zoological Survey of India, Botanical Survey of India, which I also mentioned in my speech, which have clearly stated, and in fact the tribal Ministry of Tribal Affairs have also found it clear that for the next 400 to 450 years there is not going to be there is very less chance of any such type of tsunami or earthquake. Secondly, we will be having, if the technology will be developed at that place, we will be having some disaster response team and disaster response management. Just like for an example, we recently had a beeping system in our mobile phones when our mobile phones was beeping. So definitely, if they doesn't get the networks, these people doesn't get even the mobile networks or mobile in their hand, how will they get the uh, disaster response team management as well as some pre-warning system? They will not be able to get. Secondly, these people also have the right to education, as my friends were talking about previously. Please let me complete. These people also have the right to educate it themselves, as my friend was talking about. They also have the right to aware themselves, also have the right to raise their voices, and hence they have also have the right to be developed, and they should be developed.
Talking on the fact of
Talking about the
disaster.
tribal thing that you
And
said, they have the
someone from
right
team
to
B
be
asked that.
developed, they have the right
Someone
to be
from
educated.
team B
So,
asked that
as
what
it
have
was
we learned
also
from the
mentioned
India
earlier,
Iran
a
what have we
gentleman,
learned
let
from
us
the
answer
US
one
Iran
question at
war?
a time.
What we have learned is that authoritarian powers like China and Iran, when they are given the
I guess time is
opportunity
up.
to just press a button,
Hands up, bro.
and
Time
let
is
the
up. Time is
collect.
up.
Thank you.
Raghav,
We
time is
should
up.
respect.
What I mentioned earlier, one question answered with one straight answer. It's not GD. Yes, Durva, go ahead.
So now, as we move towards the conclusion of this wonderful debate session, I would like to thank our esteemed judges and the talented participants for making this debate a resounding success. We truly appreciate the hard work, research, and quick thinking demonstrated by every debater. We also take a moment to thank our audience for listening with such profound empathy and respect. Until then, keep debating for the better tomorrow. Now, I request Major General Yashmo sir to address and say a few words.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, sir is not there. No, he was having some important meeting, so maybe he left. Is he there? Somebody please let me know once.
No,
No,
sir.
he's not there. Okay. Now we are having our amazing judges. It was really wonderful. तो खत्म हो गई आप लोगों की डिबेट or something left
Yes, sir.
behind? So for analysis and some information that we are supposed to give you according to your performances and your participations. So as you all know that we are live on YouTube. So it was clearly visible that you all have, participated amazingly and gave your very valuable and insightful points according to the topic. And topic was very sensitive. And thank you so much for participating. I would like to request our judges to give their valuable insight and like if they have found something wrong or right, to like say some words on you. So starting with Priya. Priya, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there. Just give me a minute. Let me join from another device.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are loud and clear.
How are you all and how are you feeling after like participating in the debate?
Amazing.
Yes, ma'am. Very much relieved.
Enthusiastic.
जो लाइफ की बढ़ास थी वो निकाल दी यहाँ पे जीडी करके इंस्टेड ऑफ डिबेट Is it so? Or you were just only participating in a debate competition?
It
So,
led to chaos in that rebuttal round.
Mrinal is very well aware of this as she has participated the real GD as well. So basically what I want to say is that debate competition is not only about the speaking words, it is also about expressing your own understanding about the topic, your confidence, your presence of mind. So all of you as were given the topic earlier, most of the you people have prepared your script as well. But जो एक single script होती है, the script which you guys have prepared can guide you. But true communication comes from your thoughts, your connection with audience, the way you are presenting it, the way you are structuring it, the aura which you carry while speaking or while communicating. So as what we have inferred is कि a few of you people were keeping that script aside. I don't want to put out those names, but the biggest life lesson from today's competition is that preparation is important, but self-belief is more important. क्या हो जाएगा अगर आप हार जाओगे, आप स्क्रिप्ट भूल जाओगे? ये जो छोटे छोटे लेसन हैं, जो छोटी छोटी लर्निंग्स, छोटे छोटे इंसिडेंट्स होते हैं, दे आर गोइंग टू गिव यू अ बिग इम्पैक्ट. बट अगर आज आप ऐसा सोचोगे कि मैंने स्क्रिप्ट देखकर मैंने बता दिया एंड आई वन दिस कॉम्पिटिशन, तो यू विल टेक दिस, आपका जो सबकॉन्शियस माइंड है, व्हाट दैट सबकॉन्शियस माइंड इज गोइंग टू टेक दिस एज एन इम्प्रेशन कि मैंने लास्ट टाइम ऐसा करके मैं ये चीज जीत गया था, तो मैं इस बार भी ऐसे जीत जाऊंगा. या फिर मैं अपने इस चीज को लाइफ के किसी और एस्पेक्ट के अंदर लगा दूंगा या लगा दूंगी. बट लाइफ तो हमें कभी भी कोई स्क्रिप्ट प्रोवाइड नहीं करती है. लाइफ डजंट प्रोवाइड अ रिटन स्क्रिप्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. Situations are going to demand your confidence, your quick thinking, decision making, your courage to express your own ideas, your opinions. So the main motive of YMA being conducting these online competition is not to conduct a competition to be there live for 2 or 3 hours and make a list, do all the back end prepare just to see those scripts. What the main aim of YMA is to build that confidence, to bring that quick thinking, to bring that decision power as your core trait in your personality. Not in this way that you are bringing that confidence by just reading out some other script. So I hope each one of you are going to understand what is the main motive of YMA to conduct these competition, what exactly we want in you people to inculcate in your personality so that these traits can help you further in your life as well. Not only your examination, but it is going to help you in your personal life, saving your each and every, like हर एक aspect के अंदर, be it your family, your friends, your competition, your, if you are in the corporate sector, in each and every aspect it is going to help you. So take this competition not just an event but as a learning experience. Make mistakes, learn from those, improve yourself, come back stronger, but never doubt on your self belief. Always present yourself with your own confidence, with your own grit, not by having a written script in front of you and you are just delivering it. Bring your own self confidence in it. Bring your own aura in that. That's all what I want to say. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Priya. Thank you so much for giving this valuable insight and the information about the participation, how we have to participate and all that. So hope you guys understood. Like you guys have already, seen your participation and you are well known about your participation, that how you have participated, whether in the initial stage when you are participating and giving your 3-minute speech. So have you, read the speech or something like this? So please try to keep in your mind that you are, आप अपने आप से वो कर रहे हो. So please try to, if you have participated, and the thing is कि you have been shortlisted from among lot of members over there, right? So you are supposed to feel, immense pleasure that you are being a part of this organization, Yashmore Academy. So now moving further, I would like to request Pranshu Vardhan to give some valuable insight about the participation of these guys.
Firstly, a hearty good afternoon to all of you. I want to say that all of you performed really well. But there are certain areas where I felt that you could have improved in a far more better way, provided the group members all together have had a proper discussion before this entire debate competition. What I'm actually willing to tell you all is that at every point of time, I heard the same script over and over again and again. All of you talked about the same things. Like if I talk about the people who were talking for the motion, they said about Malacca's trade and connectivity and things of such sort. All of you were basically giving the same script as a whole, rather than I was expecting a new line of thought from every individual. That would have made the entire debate far more interesting, and everybody would have got a fair chance to, we would have got a fair chance to understand each and every one of you in that situation as a whole. And then talking about the group who was talking against the motion, you just simply harped up over the problem that there will be ecological disadvantages as a whole. However, I was expecting some solutions in that regard when you were giving your entire narration. That would have been far more better, in my opinion. So that is all from my end. Hope you all do the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pranshu. And now moving further to Dev Sharma, one of our judges, to tell our new this thing, no, team members and the debaters that where they should improve and where they have lagged. Yeah, Dev.
So hi, good evening everyone. Not evening, it's afternoon. Yeah. Okay, so good afternoon everyone. So firstly, it was a very warm debate. In the end, I don't know what happened to you guys. You turned it into a group discussion like we are sitting as an assessor in the SSB. But overall, the tone of the debate was very good. I noted something that I would suggest you to improve on that part because Team B, I would personally say that you lagged very much when it came to the rebuttal phase as compared to Team A. Obviously, they had one more member, but still Team B could have done more better. Secondly, uh, as Priya ma'am and Pranshu stated that you should not be seeing the script itself because you are doing a debate and you are not just coming on a stage to with holding a script in your hand and you are speaking. What the point of then making this a debate competition? Then why can't everyone sitting over here could just type on chat gpt and get a script and say it in front of everyone? You have to be yourself in that thing. I would strictly recommend everyone who maybe use script, please do not script the use from the next time. And also I would like to add that whenever you are in a debate, try to be a good listener also, because at the end when you made it into a very hectic fish market type group discussion thing, from the next time try to be a very good listener because that is a quality of a debater, and then you should speak. And these are the points from my side, and thanks so much for the amazing debate.
Thank you so much, Dev. Thank you so much. So this is the basic and little analysis of your participation, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed and like gave your 100% over there. But according to the judges, we are going to analyze your participation, है ना? And then we'll definitely let you know about your results. Wish you very all the best. Wish you very all the best. If I would like to request our team members, those who have conducted this debate, with their hard work. If they want to say something, they can move forward. Otherwise, we are going to wind it up. Anything from your side, Sandeep Kaur, Durva, Abhinav, or this Apna Aman Roshan?
Yes, sir. I truly appreciate the effort and dedication displayed by each and every participant here. And thank you for being a part of this debate.
I think everybody has said everything now, and don't take it too seriously. Life is more about taking part in everything and just have fun. Whatever mistakes you have done now, please don't continue that in future. It's always good to be frank rather than trying to do doing all nonsense activities like cheating. I Cheating itself is not good. So I would say that it's too much for now. Just enjoy the process, have fun, make mistakes because mistakes teach us a lot. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now we are going to wind it up. Again, wish you very all the best, very all the best, and I must appreciate your efforts and your confidence. At least you have participated. There are a lot of members in Yashmore Academy and on the various channels. You know, only the few members have been selected to participate in this live YouTube debate. So you can check your participation on YouTube Live. We are going to post it on YouTube also. Actually, it is already live. So again, wish you very all the best for the betterment of your future. We'll definitely let you know the results in day or two. So again, thank you so much for joining. Jai Hind.
Jai
Thank you so
Hind.
much, everyone, for
Thank you
organizing
very much.
this.